Okay, let's take a look at the map bans. Let's figure out where we're going to be playing here in this match in particular.
Border Coastline removed from play as Giants played Coastline last played on Friday. Empire played Border, where they lost to Na'Vi, Empire that is, and Giants were able to tie against G2 Esports. There's Villa, banned out by Empire. Consulate will go next. Clubhouse. Are we going to play Clubhouse?
So we've got Clubhouse still in play, Coastline's out, so it's either banned.
Yes.
Okay, it's going to be Clubhouse. All right.
And Giants were given that pick.
So Clubhouse has been played a decent chunk here from Empire. They played it a total 4 times. They've won it 3 of those 4 times. On the other hand, for Giants, it has been played once, and they drew.
Which game was that, actually?
Not familiar. Just know that it was a draw there. So that's risky business for Giants, I suppose. Empire have a better record in this season for this map.
They actually played against one another in Clubhouse last time.
Was that it?
Mm-hmm. It was 6-6 tie.
Yeah, I'm beginning to trust this less and less, because this has 100% tie, and then, no, I'm trusting it more now. It is actually correct. It's 75% win rate here for Clubhouse and a 25% tie rate.
So, there you go.
And speaking of tie.
Damn, that's close, and understandably so.
1% off of perfectly even there.
You were close, chat, but...
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Next time. Maybe. But that's what you guys think. Of course, you can go on social media and interact with us. Of course, also use the hashtag R6PL on either Instagram or Twitter to let us know your thoughts and everything interesting that you find. Again, if there's any stats that you find interesting that you would like us to try to source some way or another, then definitely let us know, as we want to have kind of a comprehensive understanding of everything heading into the finals in Japan. But now for a game, Clubhouse, the second time these two teams play against one another, and the second time this map will be brought out. Last time they played, it was a tie. Ended up in a 6-6, and I believe that was play day number 7, halfway into the season. Capital will be banned, though, and there is the Jackal gone. Leaves us with 2 more. Defense, Maestro probably removed. Maybe Echo, it's Empire banning. So maybe they'll remove the Mira first. Yeah, it's Empire. It's predictable. Then Giants are always there for kind of the odd ones. So maybe they'll take away Jaeger. Maybe we'll see them removing a standard Maestro and Echo. Or it'll be Echo. There you go. So no Heartbreach ban on Clubhouse. It's pretty cool. We're going to have a lot of action.
You don't see those kinds of ban phases come out very often. Usually there will be a Heartbreach ban, of course, but just not in this case, I suppose. Interesting that will be the case, and it'll be a full commit here for both teams into a very open attacking half, considering the Capital Jackal ban. So the Jackal is going to mean there's more roaming potential for defenders. The Capital ban means that it's easier to open up walls, harder to open up walls for the attack, so easier to trick. But because there's 3 hard destructors, that is effectively not an issue. I mean, it doesn't really matter, basically. The attacking phase, or the attacking ban phase, is just kind of, I don't know, it's just whatever. Well, here's the thing, is it eliminates a lot of tools for the attack, but it also leaves open a lot of tools for the attack. So effectively doesn't change very much. In that those tools, again, they nullify each other. Anyway, so we're gonna get into the the one thing I will say.
Go ahead.
The Capital is really useful in the basement in terms of pushing anchors off of positions like blue.
Correct.
And that is one big difference here, because having a bunch of hard breachers, it'll help you open up the server wall, but it won't help you force the anchors that are not exposed to those hard breach walls downstairs in a basement hold. It won't force them to move like a Capital would. So there you go. There's a big difference, and of course easier to roam, like I said earlier.
And of course, having the Capital would be great here as well, on top of the downstairs attack into basement, into church. You can also deal with any sort of tricking alongside the wall here if there's a bandit in play, but the Cloud is really the big deal. The introduction of the Operator has definitely made things easier for the defense. Easier in the way where you don't have to be present there physically, but you still have to time things very well. So you're trading off one point for another. Still an Operator that has a big effect on the round here. Joystick will come on in, open up the hatch, and they'll be able to drop very easily into logistics. Empire, that is. Shepard taking a bit of damage here off of the Cloud Electro Claw as he tries to destroy the reinforcements. Of course, this is the Maverick trick, as we mentioned it before, and you can use this to destroy the reinforcement and then buck the wall open, but Dan will find Rise. Oh man, all the way downstairs. I'm not sure if the Jaeger went out for the gunfight or not, but Rise is lost.
So the way that they set up with that Maverick is instead of tricking the wall, they're just opening it up so they can use Sophia Lifeline to clear out any batteries or Kaiids that happen to be there. In this case, it's Kaiids. With the Electric Claw dealt with, they can then open the wall using Thermite. So it's a little bit more efficient. Aces with a run out there onto Joystick will bring it back to an even man count. It's a really impactful frag there for Aces. Here comes the Thermite, likely to be successful. Nice shot from Karzeka, just pre-firing on the wall, and now Felma goes down. Empire regain that man advantage, but Aces once again brings his team back from the brink of destruction, and Corey adds to that, eliminating Dan. Now it's just Shepard and Scyther. This back and forth engagement will not be stopped. As Aces looks for more, but won't get any. Corey's gonna get his second. 2 for Aces, 2 for Corey in this round, and Giants are looking really strong on this holdout, leaving just Shepard. And he likely is being spotted out by something by the way he's looking around here.
There you go.
And he gets the Valkyrie cam.
Now, this is beautiful play from Giants to kind of double down, and Aces realizing that he's in a precarious position, pulls back and has Corey to support him in it. Shepard will try to enter here from construction, but all eyes are on him, and should he try to come in from the window, he'll be tagged as well. There's one bullet hitting him, turns around and looks, and there's the camera destroyed. Aces now has no info on him, but Shepard has been tagged, and he barely has any HP to live off of. A singular bullet is all that it takes, and even a shotgun pellet here from Corey. And that's the end of the round. Very dominant from Giants.
Very dominant indeed. Well, I wouldn't say it was a really big back and forth there. I have to applaud Ace's efforts because it looked like Empire was going to take control of that round. They were doing great on the entry in through the server wall. The hard destruction didn't work out quite the way that they wanted to, but it was working out in some regard. But Aces, all the while that wall was being focused on by Empire, Aces managed to take one-on-one engagements, 2 of them, and put his team back in man count lockstep with Empire. Keep his team from slipping out of control. Corey also holding on to the garage did a really excellent job as well. So applaud him is just as much as you would Aces. We didn't see it as directly, but it definitely was he was a relevant factor for Giants in that one. Overall, the hold working out for Giants, and Empire struggling a little bit there on that attack. The one thing I will say is that Empire was very spread out, which of course is a problem sometimes. Other times it can be an advantage. It depends on how the defenders are playing mostly. When you spread yourself thin as an attacking team, basically you leave yourself exposed. Now, it's not always capitalized upon by the defenders, or even sometimes the defenders are not capable of capitalizing upon it because it requires winning those heads-up one-on-one engagements as the defense to, punish the attack for spreading themselves thin. Aces is a player known to do that, and that's exactly what he did in that last round.
And the way that he was communicating with the rest of his team was the beautiful part to see, because you're like, you can see by his movement and his positioning how he's communicating with his squad mates and making sure that he's always in an advantageous position, even if he's being pressured throughout the entire time. Aces in general, fantastic player. As we said before, voted Rookie of the Year of last year. And if he were a rookie, he would have been in the same spot this year again. So maybe that has to go to somebody else. We'll see. We're actually very close to 2020. It's crazy how time flies, don't it? Karzeka droning into the bar. Everything's clear. Default cam's still up. You deal with that in just a second. pre-firing into the blue stairs, and Garzika's in. There's nothing really to deal with him. There's the Qaid. You kind of have to worry about that, but as long as you got some eyes and tabs on him, you should be fine. And Rise downstairs in the Pulse is watching and checking. Maybe you can snipe off one of the Heartbreachers here. A vital component of the Giants' assault. Or the Empire assault, excuse me. There you go. Clyde's going to use up one of his Electro Claws. EMP is going to get thrown up, as this should be timed correctly. Yes! Hicks, no, but he loses one of those Electro Claws. Second EMP will come out and destroy the second. There's the hatch open. Is able to collect the Ertila and fall back. So, problem with that, EMPs have mostly been used up to clear out bar, and only bar. Now, opening up the hatch in kitchen is going to be a lot more complicated. And Shepard, in the meantime, breaching charges. That's the metagame. And Joystick will find the first kill here on to Hicks, clearing out blue.
There's a second one for Joystick. He's really putting these frags together for his team. But we've seen Giants bounce back for this, again, thanks to Ace's efforts. He'll take down Joystick and look for more. Dan won't get Alfalma, so Empire managed to maintain their strong lead. But with Aces and Corey still in play, that might slip away. Dan gets a second. There's Ace's second. He needs to find an ace to win this round. Sees the drone, knows his position is known, and so will rotate. Sees one in Moto, knows one's in dirt as well. There's the dirt player, and he goes down to Aces. Excellent gunplay on this MPX, landing all the headshots, but he can't find any more. Too wide of an angle on that peak, and Shepard will take him down. Empire, don't let that slip away. As much as it came close to, well, it being a win there for Aces. He could have gotten it.
Definitely the case. But doesn't live up to the name in that situation. And again, you're in a clutch position. No matter what, you're going to be fighting up against so many overwhelming odds. And Empire will try to shut you down ASAP. But we're at a tie right now. Giants are looking for 4 rounds on the defense. Keeping in mind, the Echo and the Mira are banned. So are the Capitao and the Jackal. So Maestro, Qaid, they're available. They're to be played by the defense, and they're very powerful operators. For that, there's no effect on a Bandit, no effect on Mute, on anything else. So doable. And given all of this information, Giants will go back down to Church as they realize, okay, we messed up in XYZ position. We can fix that and maybe not lose the manpower in blue like we did last time.
So, Giants setting up on the basement. Again, I mean, I agree with you. Really, a lot of this is going to come down to whether or not Giants are giving off those free picks like they did. Well, not free. I'm using the word free too much. Giving off those picks to Joystick as he managed to get from New Blue was a very long angle engagement for him. The reason I suggest free is because, well, Giants just peeking things that really didn't need to in that round got punished. And that's, yeah, that's usually not supposed to happen. By blue, it's very tempting for the defenders to peek up towards New Blue or by Oil Pit. And honestly, the way to win a blue hold as a defender is just to not. Joystick did manage to get a kill in Church, though, Deep Church, and that is just a tricky angle to work with as a defender. You don't usually see the attackers even challenge that. It's all the way from New Blue down into Church Wall, and it's a very long angle, hard to hit, especially with Joystick was using a hollow, I believe. It's very impressive from him. Yeah, he's using a hollow on the L85. Which is actually, I heard someone ask me once, who uses hollow on L85?
There you go.
And I gotta say, the hollow on that gun is actually really good for some reason. Not sure what it is exactly, just it is a good optic on that weapon. But you gotta be capable of using it. Oh, wow, Dan with a shot through the floor. This is typical Empire stuff. This is what we've seen from them in the past. This is what made them great for so long. It's instant reaction based on the information gathered by the drones.
Yeah, and it's everything that they really need in these situations. When it comes to players of this caliber, aim is not the game. It really comes down to if there's a real mess-up, positioning, team tactics, etc. That's really the important bit of it. Corey gets sniped in from above as Dan is running the breach charges, and the lifelines are being thrown down. It's again impacted the Legion, taking him away. 5v3, and 3 players left, a full HP at least for the Giants.
Dan Holding on to the main stairs, there is an attacker inside of Dirt Tunnel for Team Empire. Aces with the C4 onto the main stairs. It will miss. Shots from Ace is also going to miss as Dan lands his and his triple kill. He'll not get a fourth, though, as Alfalma shuts him down. Shepard with that refrag right after. Hicks the last alive, and he's shut down by Scyther in the Dirt Tunnel. Empire, another really great attack onto the bottom floor. Pinching from Blue, Dirt Tunnel, and the kitchen drop down.
And I have to say, Empire making sure that they also have an extra angle to even run the thermite from dirt is great. Not only are they successful in opening every single hatch required, but also having the utility to open up their entry from the tunnel. Extra angle that the defense has to worry about, and because Giants have been picked off in the past couple of rounds, 2 players before the assault actually commences on the site, then having multi-pronged attacks is even more difficult to deal with.
You know why they have multi-pronged attacks, though? They have multiple pronged attacks because there's so many hard breachers available. When you can open up all of the walls, all of the drop-downs, then you don't really have to isolate yourself to one attack in particular. We actually saw a Clubhouse match recently. And I don't remember exactly which match it was, but it was definitely Europe. It was the last play day we casted. And what happened in that match was we had 2 hard breacher bans. I want to say it was Habana and Maverick, and Thermite was the last attacker left alive. And now what that meant is the attack was very limited when they were going for the bottom floor.
Yep.
So what we saw a lot of was bottom floor defenses that got gridlocked, and we saw a throwback to the old Clubhouse basement attack meta, which, I mean, it was very interesting, but what it basically meant is that, yeah, the attackers are only coming from one of the options, one of the available routes into the bottom floor. There are a lot of them, but you can only do so many because you need hard destruction for almost all of them. In fact, actually, pretty much for all of them to easily attack. You can attack Blue without hard destruction. You can attack into Church from Moto without hard destruction. Arsenal even. But it's really hard, right? So you want hard destruction to assist you in each of those different lanes. When you have all of the hard destructors available, you really don't have to choose. So you can come from multiple different places. The only place where they didn't come from would be... Oh, actually, no. They came from everywhere. I guess they didn't really apply... Last round, Empire didn't apply a whole lot of pressure to Moto. So I guess that... Yeah, there you go. They didn't come from Moto. They came from everywhere else. So... in this round, wall opened up into server, and good control from Empire. And this is a much better round on than the last time they attacked from Cash so far.
Correct. They're just not wasting any time. And Rise was the one to be picked off early on here by the delivery downstairs. And maybe we'll see him peek again from the bars. Dan is waiting for him, and there's Rise making sure that he does not stand up or reveal himself, as Dan is really on the move. Pixel angles here, but he's going to go up and repel. Joystick had already used all of his EMPs. Of course, the wall is open, so great positioning here for Empire, and the Giants have to drain that timer for so long.
Yep, well, it's really starting to tick away here. Breaching charge used there to open up the office wall. Control over workshop construction. C4 comes out from below by stage and misses. That was Hicks' C4. Aces has not brought a C4. Decided to bring an deployed shield. I believe it has been destroyed. Still control over garage here for Giants, which means the take into site is going to be very difficult. Dan will take down Aces, so that's a really good kill there for Dan. Oh, and into site goes Scyther. What? He's just walked in. Nobody stopped him, and he's got control now. He'll get a kill off of it. Second one goes to Joystick here, but the refrag from Rise and Corey. So we're back into it for Giants. But it's just Corey now, just Rise now as Corey goes down. Giants definitely could win this round, but it's going to have to be some impressive gunplay from Rise. He's being held by 2 while the other plants. Empire in a great spot here, not even get past 1, and they'll win the round thanks to Joystick's great cover there at the end.
Great play from Empire. Again, being able to just open up the site so early is great. And it comes down to just not really having to deal with much. You have a Thatcher, you have Hard Breach, you have all the tools that are required. And because of that, Empire just go on through the basics. I mean, they're on the attack, and they have 3 rounds here on Clubhouse. Great start for them on their half, for sure. But Scyther just walking into site and being there on his own as Thermite was like, what is going on? Right?
How did the Giants let that happen is the question in my mind. And now we're going to go to another Cache defense because Cache has historically been the best site for Giants. It's the only one that they've managed to win so far, even though they lost that last round. Now, here's the big thing, guys. That's 3 rounds on the attacking side for Empire. And I know, all of the hard destructors are available. That's big, definitely. But it's still attack on Clubhouse. And there still should be a slight favor for the Giants. But that has proven not to be the case. Empire have had some really good attacks, and a lot of what's happening here is just Empire winning their gunfights. That's it, pretty much the major factor. Now, I didn't see when it happened, but the player for Giants inside of Garage on Rafters managed to get killed. Once he was dead, once Empire had taken him out, they had an easy access point into the site using that server wall. And there was not a lot of denial coming from Giants because they didn't have control of Cache, because whoever was holding that was actually the first one to die and that whole engagement. So you lose your Garage player, you lose your Cache player, and now suddenly Giants have little to no control because they're trying to roam too fiercely. Too much dedication to those players downstairs. They start retaking from the staircase, but at that point, it's all lost because Empire have isolated that staircase because of the control they have in Cache. And at that point, it was pretty much over. It was a good attack from Empire. Weird setup from Giants, to be sure. Now, second time's the charm, I guess, is what Giants are hoping for. As they go to the Cache site again.
Burning off anything that's been set behind, and see the flashes have come in. They're going to stun lock Aces. There's 2 stuns. They'll force him back.
But he got the exothermic charge. Nice trick there from Aces. The lifeline came in a little too late to deny the bandit. Now, there are 2 hard destructors available, a Habana and a Thermite both. But Aces just had a hero play. And when you've got also a Kayid in play, you can potentially just lock out Team Empire right now. Depends on how efficiently Joystick is using his EMPs.
I'm curious how they're able to stop all of that. Was it only the wooden barricade that was able to stop the Zofia? Maybe it was...
No, the Zofia lifeline was timed poorly anyway. The bandit battery was on the floor before the lifeline detonated from my hearing, but my hearing's pretty bad, so maybe I'm wrong about that.
It's all right. Well, should be some EMPs, at least 1 to use for Joystick, right? Otherwise, you'd be in a pretty difficult spot if you're Empire.
Hopefully, if you're Empire, he's got 1, and yeah, there it is. They have to time this perfectly, though, because there is a bandit actually on the other side of that wall. Ace is probably going to go for this again, and he chooses the wrong wall! He goes for the right, it's on the left, but it somehow gets stopped anyway! I didn't actually see what it was that caused that. Maybe it couldn't have been from below. Dan will take down Rise, though. And that's interesting.
Was that an impact thrown from Hicks? Maybe we didn't see it. Maybe it was like...
Maybe he got it on the right wall, and maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like the wrong one for sure. Maybe it was an impact above. It could have been that. Corey takes down Dan, so the refrag's in. Dan gets traded out. Joystick trying to push up the Cache stairs. He'll see the backpack and land the shot, but the second one is going to be Hicks, who jumps down. Still impacts in hand. I believe it was him who stopped the wall from getting opened up, and he will also take down Karzeka as he's dropped. It's going to be a re-pick up there from Aces. Corey lands the shot in a second for Corey in the same magazine. Giants win the round. A beautiful job there, locking out that hard destruction.
They're really stacked up here on top of the stairs, but that was the last assault, basically, from Empire. And Giants finally are able to take the servers and Cache. They'll have 1 more chance. We haven't seen Jim Bedroom in play just yet in the past 5 rounds. And this will be our first time locking in the site. Round 6, of course, Giants are looking for a tie 3-3. No matter how you cut this, Empire should be looking very pretty. They had the Thatcher, they had the double heart breach, and in this case, they bring the triple breach.
I mean, They did struggle to get the wall open in the last round, both of them, both the server wall and the workshop wall. Now, I did not exactly see what it is that caused that exothermic charge to be destroyed.
Me neither. Maybe
it definitely, I couldn't have been the bandit.
Maybe it was a client-sided. No, it wasn't the bandit, but maybe it was a client-sided thing that we didn't see the explosion. Maybe it was on the other side of the wall that we couldn't spot it.
Maybe because the explosion detonated on the ceiling.
That's correct.
Right,
because there's the metal bar as well right above it.
Well, what I'm saying is that the spectator mode doesn't catch everything on the ceiling, so
it's possible.
Maybe, yeah. I'm guessing it was Hicks's impact. If it be that Giants win this, we got to ask them. But we're not there yet. We're just about to conclude the first half. Empire still, again, they've managed 3 rounds on the attacking side of Clubhouse. So no matter how you look at this, even though there's 3 hard breachers available, I'd say this is a really good result for Empire. Even if they end this first half 3-3, Empire are in a good spot. Now for the final defense, Giants are going to be going to Gym Bedroom. They'll be setting up a roam by Cash. Hicks was a big player in that last round, and he'll be assisting the Cash roam this round. It's going to be a Maverick trick, so they're not going to risk anything with this server wall.
So, Shepard going through. There's, again, as you said, the tricking. So to make sure that you're taking minimum damage. It takes a bit of time, sure, but you make sure that your X-Kairos and your thermite charges are set for the actual assault. And all it takes is either a Buck or a Zofia. In this case, the Zofia being brought out. It should be, the Thatcher should be bringing breaching charges in this one. I'm not sure if Joystick is going for that strategy this time around, but there's Castle Barricade and the Zofia is in play. So you should be able to impact things here and destroy the one in the death hallway, basically leading up to the jacuzzi wall. Scyther's waiting for information here as Kajika's fighting on, and there's the first EMP. They want to confirm that there's aces in the back. Yep, they'll burn off one of his batteries. Second battery will go off, and it's well set, but okay, no, he takes it off at the last second. EMP comes in, but it was a bit slow. The battery would have taken out the thermite charge regardless, but it happens. Mistakes happen every now and then. And that was it. No EMPs left, but the wall has been successfully breached, and Empire trying to use this to their advantage. Still no kills. There's a lot of time. Empire looking pretty before this assault.
Here, they've set up themselves up definitely very well. The wall open. They have managed, well, they haven't managed to force out the roamers on the Cash side, even though they spent a little bit of time on that. Shepard takes down aces. That's a really good lead-off kill, and oh, wow. The bathroom wall is opened up, which means the smoke is playing just on a barely pixel angle there for Karzeka. Exposed. Dan also takes down Rise. So, okay, suddenly, Giants looking really out of this round. Very little control for them. Corey near sight. He'll take down one from Office. He gets a second there onto Scyther, who is trying his best to cover from the bed. Hicks lands a shot, but it does barely any damage because of the distance. Lots of damage drop off on that gun. You gotta land the headshot. And he eats a lot of damage himself in the engagement. Dan vaulting in. Good control on Workshop, and Hicks is known to be by Workshop Cash. So that's one of the defenders isolated, which means that Shepard can go for a plant while Joystick covers the other defender, who is just inside of that vault. Hicks lands the shot onto Dan and gets the kill. Corey also another one for him. That's a triple for Corey. He runs away, trying to play off time. Joystick in pursuit. He's looking for the fight. Who's going to win it? It'll be Joystick in the end. And Empire take another attacking round. And in the first half, 4-2. And in strong advantage, especially considering we're on Clubhouse.
Last bullet left in the magazine will be the one to hit, and yeah, you said it right, 4-2. And right now, if you're a Na'Vi fan and Na'Vi in general, you'll be
very happy,
pretty happy with all of this. Again, I want to say that I pronounced Gig's name as G-I-G. It's Gig.
Gig, yeah.
Just to clear it out. But as Gig was saying in the interview, we want to be the ones on top. And right now, with their victory against Chaos, Na'Vi are very happy with things. And should Empire be victorious against Giants today, it won't affect anything of when it comes to who goes to Japan. It's already decided. It just affects who represents the region as first and second.
Yeah, also it'll put Empire in third.
That's true.
They'll take, unless who has the tiebreak?
Win.
No, wait, who has the tiebreak between Empire and Vitality? It's Empire. Empire has the tiebreak. So yeah. So it'll put, at least for now, it'll put Empire in third if they win this match, because they'll have 25 points, the same as Vitality. But Empire has the tiebreak over Vitality, 9-14 in the direct head-to-head round count. And then yes, if G2 wins at the end of today, which is the final match against Penta, as you said, then G2 would then take third. So it's a battle for third! Haha! That's what this whole day has been boiling down to. But right now, yeah, you can bet your bottom dollar. Na'Vi are watching and very happy with what they're seeing, with Empire transitioning onto the defensive side 4-2 in Empire's advantage, which is making Giants' chances of getting that first seed slightly lower. Again, I will say one thing, though, and this is important. And I said this earlier, I'll repeat it. It is really, yeah, it's definitely relevant who gets first and second seed. But at the same time, no matter who you're gonna, well, if you get first, you're gonna be playing against a really good team. You get second, you're gonna be playing against a really good team. No matter what you do, you're gonna be playing against a very good team. In this day and age, you can't get an easy matchup usually at these finals. And most of the time when we say, oh, this looks like a, oh, okay, starting the action. Corey gonna take down Karzeka outside of the garage, starting to push into the site. With garage control, Giants can do a whole lot here, and it looks like it's a big focus for them. Anyway, usually the matches that we say are more one-sided at a LAN event are barely even just. So, yeah. It's worth noting that first and second seed, while relevant, is not abundantly so. Not like it used to be.
Yeah, I think the last time we had a really one-sided game at LAN, that was Raleigh with the Giants playing fours, which was pretty insane. Oh, joystick! He fires in and he finds Corey, but it gets dropped himself. Hicks at least getting the refrag there on a joystick, making sure that Empire cannot get a man advantage in this round. A lot of dedication to open up garage, and yeah, it forced Karzeka to be killed, and it also got joystick dead. Nitro cell thrown up. Fortunately, Empire won't find anyone, and he'll make his position known. It kind of already was. Anyways, for the Giants, as now they're going to be droning in down into blue, and making sure that he won't be returning from here anytime soon. And if anything, they'll be in need of watching Oil Pit, and that's what Aces is doing right now. There's no way to put a Claymore, as I don't think there's anything near him that can be used for that. Frag Grenade will be lobbied up into the hallway.
Second one for the shield. It's good use of that utility there. They mean no one close on the hallway door, so they can push easily into the site. Rise does just that. Scyther goes down on the push. Dan trying to retake his own site. C4 used below. No success on that one. Shepard's got 2 gas canisters left to delay, and only 27 seconds left for the attack. Oh, missed shot there from Dan is really big, but we still have Shepard in play, and he's doing work with the shotgun. He has managed to down 2, one of which can pick himself up. We'll finish off Hicks, but his position is well known by the enemy, and that second down player has picked himself up. That's Rise. See if he gets the kill off of that. Gas canisters going out here. Oh, through the wall. Rise goes down to Shepard. A great shot there. Looks like we might have info for Shepard, and he could win off this. Both of these attackers in the post plan are very low on HP. Gas canisters could be big here, but they're not going to do any damage to either of these players. Flash is going out to delay, and there's very little time left. Shepard's full blind, but he keeps pushing regardless, and he'll die to Alfalma in the engagement due to his blindness. Giants will take the first attack round into cash.
Well done there by the Giants, and it's always, you know, Shepard is last man alive. It's possible, it's always possible for the clutch play. Very much known for specifically that, really. I mean, you look at his performance over the online season and offline tournaments in Raleigh and even in Milan. This man is an absolute madman when it comes to clutch positions. Unfortunately, it does not work out. And a 4-3 set up right now. Dan is the one that's had the most clutches so far for the team in this season. That's 6 with 20 opening kills. It's Joystick with the 22 OPK. And Shepard with only a couple of clutches. Huh.
He's had some really important ones.
He's had some really
Which
big
is
ones.
why it stands out in memory, right?
You're like, yeah, he saves it.
He does save it quite a lot, yeah. Now, going into this next round, that was big for Giants for one reason in particular. It means that Giants will not be bossed around, or bullied, I guess, on the attacking side, just like Empire wouldn't be. So this should be a more even match than anticipated, at least in terms of the sides. The attack definitely looking pretty strong for both teams. And again, a big part of that has got to be the freedom of choice with Heart Destructors. You can pick whichever one you're comfortable with. One thing that I will note here is that we don't have a Habana being brought on a basement defense. Habana is a very useful tool here, of course. Maverick can fill that role. Maverick is capable of opening up those drops, but, I mean, it's just less efficient in terms of time. It's a rush in through blue, and that's a really bad Guzmat from the lifeline. Dan will take down Alfalma because of that and get a double kill for his troubles. So that's a big whoopsie there from Rise, and off of the backs of that whoopsie, it's just Corey.
Yeah, that round just failed spectacularly.
It was a rush in through blue, and rushes are always risks, right? But the lifeline was definitely not going to help Giants in that round.
No, that was unintended, of course.
Yeah.
But, hey, mistakes happen even at the top play. Two of the best teams that we have in international play.
You know what it probably was? It was probably because he was... Okay, so when you're leaning sprinting, it can sometimes mess up your aim. Because the lean sprint reaction is like sprint nullifies lean, right?
That's
so I think
true.
he was trying to lean and sprint and shoot at the same time, and so he hit just the corner because his aim got moved on the lean when he came out of the sprint to shoot. It's very complicated, but
yeah, no, I see exactly what you mean.
You'll know what I'm talking about if you've ever been in that situation.
No, I know it, and then suddenly you're like, oh,
I'm aiming to my right. I meant to aim over here.
Yeah,
because you were sprinting, then leaning, then shooting, and anyway, it's really it's unfortunate for him.
Oh, he still finds one kill. So Corey tagged and low on HP. Tries to run on down, but he has to watch for Moto. Has to watch probably for the center. Yep, there's already a player watching for him. That's the Maestro. That's the round done.
Is that the Ember Rise skin that everybody's using?
Yes.
I've heard a lot about that one. I've heard it's like the new spaghetti skin.
They're awful.
Yeah, they're really, really...
like, actually awful.
If you want to know how to have a straight-up advantage...
Don't tell him.
in your ranked matches...
Don't tell him.
Hey, you know what? It's...
God damn it.
The way that we fix this is through publicity, all right?
That's a good point.
Yeah, if you want to know how to have a straight-up advantage over your enemies in ranked matches, don't forget to get that Ember Rise skin bundle. I think it costs about... it's like $50 for the whole pack.
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely worth it. It makes it harder for you to be seen by your enemy. It's a true camouflage, works really effectively. You'll see it on full display here and now. We've seen it for most of our matches today, by a lot of these teams. It's a really good tool to use. We used to see that in the past with the spaghetti skin.
Yeah, that was, what operation was it? With,
It was when Kai came out, I think.
Yeah, exactly. How can I forget? It was like the first Arab operators introduced in the game. How can I forget that? Wind Bastion.
Wind Bastion, yeah. It's the Wind Bastion one yep.
Trivia.
And it was the, so the Wind Bastion skins, the spaghetti skins as they're referred to as, the seasonal ones, were like the first skin where people were like, wait a minute. This is like a camouflage that actually makes it really hard for you to be seen. And ever since then, we've had like a few different skins where people look into it and they're like, whoa, this one's like that. You can't be seen here. And you can't buy the spaghetti skins anymore. But you can buy, for now, until the season is over, you can buy the Ember Rise skins, which do a similar thing on different walls, on different backgrounds. So definitely make sure you grab that before they're gone.
When they're gone for good.
Yep. And then only those who have bought it will have that advantage.
Good lord.
So, in this match, most people are rocking that. Not all of them.
That was your PSA for the day.
Yeah. In this match, we do see... Oh, look at that. Joystick looking to run out from side entrance. He could do a lot of work here if he times it correctly. He's got impacts for an explosive exit of the building. And he's just trying to be cautious, though. Time his run out correctly.
And there's a lot of time being run down here, and Corey knows that something's up, something's fishy. And Joystick has the K1A out. He'll be moving in. He'll be spotted for just a moment, so they know he's around. ZRC's recharging, but he can definitely use that to evac. But Hicks is watching, and he's making sure that he has the singular runaway spot locked down. There's a lot of damage done here onto the Buck. And Joystick will be able to escape. 2 drones sniped off, and a lot of damage done. It's at least something when you're not dead.
Corey holding on to the billiards, trying to cut off the rotation and joystick. Hasn't been successful just yet. Missed flashbang from Aces, and he's doing a lot of work here by himself to try and open this wall, but he'll die to Shepard. We'll shoot him in the leg there. And just barely managed to land enough damage to eliminate Aces. And shotgun really working out great for him. Aces, or rather, sorry, joystick going to take down Hicks. My mind was stuck on Ace's death. But we will move forward as Empire continue to rack up their man advantage. Wall has been opened up by Garage, it seems, but that's not really helping out Giants all that much because they still have Karzeka challenging Garage from the rafters.
Yeah, you need to win this gunfight in Alfama. Indeed, he does.
Yep.
Karzeka has been shot down and turns into a 4v3, but still, big back foot for Giants as they have lost that Maverick. It would have been so important to open up the entry into the site itself here from the balcony, and there's a Maestro camera also watching in Garage that was sniping in and doing some damage onto the Thermite. Alfama will find 2 kills for Alfama. Shepard was able to get 1. Can he find yet another? But no, the peak is all joysticks here. It's on to Rise to try and save the round. No stuns here for the crowd control, and it's either to hit the headshot with the Alda. Round's done. And actually, if you haven't seen, there is a way to empty the 10 rounds in the TCSG in like a solid second, and with no like crazy recoil to deal with.
Which one? Wait, what are you talking about? Enlighten me.
I will show you.
Okay.
This requires like a visual.
Are you just like just spamming mouse 1?
There's a certain way.
Okay.
You'll see.
Because I mean, it really doesn't have a lot of recoil to begin with.
No.
And I usually when I'm using that gun, I just spam mouse 1 and pull down. To be honest. Yeah. Just spam just spam and pull down. It's really easy.
It's pretty fast. It's pretty crazy. What are you gonna do? The gun does 84 damage distance.
Yeah. As soon as you like master that shotgun, it's basically a laser beam that kills faster than anything else.
Yes.
Do you know what I've noticed when I was looking over the stats for most regions? Oftentimes, and this is not a universally true thing, but oftentimes the top fragger for a team is also the person with the lowest headshot rate.
Huh.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Very.
Headshots are less and less relevant as people learn to manipulate the movement system to their advantage, of course. Because I mean, you can within like a split second, you can move your head from one of 6 locations, right? And that's just standing and crouch lean, right?
Yeah.
Standing, crouch, lean. You can move yourself to any one of those 6 head locations just like that. So because of that, a lot of players don't even aim for the head anymore. They're like, okay, if I get a headshot, cool. But if I don't, fine.
My intention is to kill.
Yeah.
But
whatever.
That's what I want.
As long as I can see the enemy, it's going to happen usually because the TTK is low enough to facilitate that, especially when you're using shotguns like the one on Caillou. So yeah, it's just an interesting thing to note. It's not a universally true thing. A lot of times, a top fragger on a team through a season will also have the highest headshot rate. But it's an interesting little thing to chew on, a little nugget there. Now, Giants facing match point right now, and they're looking to regain some standing here. Again, if they do draw here, they are actually going to still take first because they have tiebreaker over Navi.
Exactly.
So Empire, of course, fighting for that 3rd spot, but Giants, all they need is 3 rounds in a row to bring this into an effective win for them in the day.
Yeah, and that will secure them the 1st spot for EU over Navi. The important part, though, to mention is that if you go 1st, 2nd, it's not going to matter. You're still going to be facing crazy teams at the other side when you go to Tokoname. Karzeka will hit the 1st and the 2nd as well. The Qaed is in motion. What an operator. And still Alfama taking a lot of damage. Corey, though, will be able to find joystick. Just a second after, it's Dan to Nitro Aces. Alfama will be able to dive on in and find the Qaed. The Scyther has taken his last teammate out of commission. Alfama is last in, but he gets another. No, that's a team kill from Shepard on a Dan. That's a 2 versus 1. Alfama barely holding off. He dives into the window, and that's the game done. Bit of a abrupt ending to this map and this matchup, but here we are. Good luck in Japan.
That'll mean that we have Giants finishing 2nd in Europe and Na'Vi finishing first overall. A very abrupt shift there as it came right at the end of this season for Europe, but it will be solidified in this match thanks to Empire's efforts. I'm sure that Na'Vi are happy about that. Getting first seed, small advantage that it is still an advantage. So congratulations to Empire for the win. Congratulations to Na'Vi for retaining that first spot. And now, with that match done, I mean, we've got one more very relevant match to finish out the day. But before we get there, let's take a look. Let's just talk about that match. Let's talk about that win from Empire and their performance. Honestly, really impressive.
They seemed completely reinvigorated compared to their matchup only a few days ago on Friday night when they were playing against Na'Vi.
Yeah, when they lost to Na'Vi. So why Na'Vi currently sits in first is because Na'Vi pulled out the big guns right at the end. They beat G2, then Na'Vi beat Empire. Now they beat Chaos in the last day, which, you know, that's a big win too, considering how much fight Chaos put up. But it is what managed to secure them first spot.
All right. Well, we have an interview, so let's have a quick chat with our Krasivoy here. It's Joystick. Good evening, Joystick. How are you doing?
Fine. We finally won, but I think it's too late. Too late.
It definitely is too late. Unfortunately, I don't think you should be considering that streaming career anytime soon, though. Don't worry about it. You won 2 big events in the year. You'll be going to Invitational. I think we've yet to see the full extent of Team Empire. But in that matchup, you guys were definitely on top. There was moments early on in the first few rounds where Giants had a number over you, but the way you guys were attacking Church was very impressive. And how was it trying to lock down Blue and the rotations from there, and what led to the decision to always be pushing with at least one player in Dirt Tunnel?
I think right now we just have no pressure. We communicate more effectively with them in the other matches. So right now we communicate like awesome team. We have no mistakes, I think. And yeah, I think it's all about pressures. That's all.
It happens, right? You know, when you're under pressure. At this point, you guys are used to the pressure of offline games, but in online, it's not always the same, right? You don't have that same, I'm feeling the crowd around me and the tension and everything. It's addictive, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's number one. Number two, when you guys went to your defensive side, Laqaid was such a big deal.
Yeah.
How did you plan everything around running Karjaka on the Laqaid?
I don't know, we are always practicing this a lot in the last 2 weeks, and all teams right now use Bandit and Kaid in every defense, I guess, and right now tricking is more... it's harder to breach the walls, yes, now with Kaid and Bandit, and we just train it a lot, and he feels pretty good on Kaid and the Cash when we playing Master Bedroom. Yeah, we're just training it a lot, so...
Makes sense.
Nothing special, yeah.
Nothing special. Just doing everything that we usually should be doing. But I mean, that is the usual Empire, right? Well-oiled machine. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're just doing things and perfecting them, and that's what has caused you to win your 2 tournaments this year. Unfortunately, you won't be in Japan, but we'll be seeing you at Six Invitational 2020. That ticket is booked and done already. At the end of this victory against Giants Gaming, anything you'd like to say to all the Empire fans out there?
Again, thank you guys a lot. Thank you for every word that you say. Thank you. I love you. All my teammates love you. Thanks again.
That's
all, I guess.
That's very, very lovely of you. So, what is it? Malinki? Is that the word, like, if it's like cute, small, right?
No, yeah, it's small. It's small. Yeah.
So there you go. I don't know. Cute, small, it's the same thing. Though, thank you very much for the interview. Congratulations again on the victory here, Joystick. We'll see you, I guess, sometime soon, right?
Yeah, of course.
Bye-bye.
Good night.